Meghans crocodile tears burst. It's sad to have been caught red-handed by high-ranking royals. Hello and a very warm welcome back to LVT News YouTube. Now the truth of the matter is crying as a way to get attention is basically hardwired in all of us, and the time that we are born, it gets our tummies bill. It gets our diapers changed, and it also can get us a reassuring hug. And if you happen to be an abused child who goes unheard and who goes hungry wearing a dirty diaper, or worse still gets slapped around just making a little bit of noise, you figure out pretty quickly that you should not cry. But even the silent damaged child is going to observe the positive responses others get from crying, and they have to be aware of its power. So Harry referred to Meghan sobbing into her pillow and claimed that she was lying on the floor, sobbing on several different occasions, and the picture that's being created here is very dramatic, and the instinctive response is of course going to be empathy. The cynics among us are going to apply the mental process of dismissing or discrediting this display by dismissing or discrediting Meghan Markle as a lying, manipulative hypocrite. And there could actually be sometimes making really cries because she's suffering some real personal distress. But even then Meghan Markle's going to use that to get comfort from other people or to motivate them to do what she wants them to do. People who have seen Meghan's distress and dispose of it are not only going to give a happy dose of empathy and attention, but most importantly, they will pledge their allegiance to Meghan Markle. So these will become Meghan Markle's flying monkeys, and they'll trot out that you don't know her line, and they do that because they have seen or probably heard about her crying in a heap on the floor. Her enemies therefore become their enemies. Her tears become their spears that they are going to use to battle it out. And Meghan can also use crying to gaslight others and guilt trip. So why scream like a crazy person, and why throw plates everywhere when you can slope off to the chicken coop and cry? Don't go after the enemies. Their guard is bound to be up. Instead, just draw them to you with their guard down and then pierce them right through the heart. Tears are what Meghan uses to appear to be relatable to other people. I also love the Queen. My miscarriage is our miscarriage. These are the tears of a martyr and of a saint. See, the Bible teaches us that Jesus died to save us, and Meghan is crying to free us all from the tyrannies of royalism, racism, criticism, and also bimbo. Supposedly, she's a strong independent woman. In fact, she's just a bully, but she isn't so strong when she doesn't get her way. Instead she turns into a pathetic whiner. My guess is, behind closed doors, this is probably going to manifest itself as aggressive and maybe even violent fits. It would be befitting a woman approaching 50 with the mind of a 10-year-old, wouldn't it? And by now, if he were not abusing drugs, even Harry has to have come to understand what an absolute load of crap. He married everything, and Meghan's life is built upon lies, and I do mean absolutely everything. Meghan sold him a pure, honest, hard-working real person who just so happens to be gorgeous, and she claimed that what she was really interested in was helping other people and helping the planet. Meghan Markle sold this story that her father treated her so poorly when in fact she loved him, that he told lies about her to the media, and the only mistake she made was in loving him and trusting him. Okay, I guess Harry does need to reach for the drugs. The strong ones, because he needs them. Meghan Markle is so incredibly manipulative, and because she boasted so publicly about producing that one tear in her left eye, the first reaction I had to Harry's stories of Meghan's distraught tears was of course skepticism. Meghan only has herself to blame those for certain reactions that she's never going to accept. And I'm sure that Meghan Markle uses this very technique to get her way. Ever since she was a young girl, she would be at the studios waiting for her father to finish up with work. I can only imagine how much information Meghan got together from watching actors in action, and I think that she learned how to cry on demand. Most of us can only cry when we feel upset about something, but actors do learn how to do it at will, or by pretending without the necessary tears. They learn to cry crocodile tears the same way that young kids do when they want something, but they hear the word no. And I never watched Suits. I never wanted to, But no doubt I'm sure Meghan had to turn on the tears at some point during that series, and Harry falls for her crocodile tears every single time. It seems like Harry cannot tell the difference between real tears and phony tears. He gets sucked in every single time Meghan Markle turns the waterworks on. And if you look hard enough, I think you can find photos of the most photographed people in the world looking upset. Maybe it's the late Queen. Maybe it's Catherine. Maybe it's Sophie. Maybe it's Meghan Markle. Interestingly enough, the only time that I can find examples of the first three women looking angry is when Meghan Markle is around. Seems to me like Meghan Markle is different. Though she only looks angry when she's not the center of attention, when she's not the most important person at hand. Before Meghan Markle entered his life, Harry always looked happy. He always had that bit of mischief on his face too, but now that he's always around making, he's always frowning. He always looks miserable and angry, and Prince William seems to be the one that feels the most disgust. It's pretty convenient. They show an alleged picture of Meghan crying, and then they show a photo of Catherine supposedly looking furious. Well, Harry and Meghan can kiss in public all they want to. But this love story we know does not show the reality of life. And you can see that photo of Meghan grabbing Harry's hand while they're crossing the street. She's got one hand in Harry's and the other is touching his wrist. Meghan has a smirk on her face that Harry's just looking down like he wants to run away. Why does Meghan Markle hold on to him so tightly? I mean, does she think that maybe they're gonna get run over? What I really despise most about Meghan and Harry is the fact that they have complete disregard for other people. They're always whining about their privacy, but they don't have any problem with violating the privacy of other people while telling stories that are made up to anybody who will listen. I've never been the biggest fan of Harry, but he was at least a little bit likable when he was under strict palace control. But he and that venomous snake he married are incredibly toxic together at this point. I'm afraid that Harry is not redeemable and Meghan is who she is. She's twisted, she's full of resentment, and she hates so many people. King Charles has to bring the hammer down on the two of them. I don't care if he's Harry's father or not. They are really nasty. Harry turned out to be a low-life piece of trash, and Prince William and Princess Catherine are doing the right thing by not paying attention to the two of them. I mean, now that Harry's book has come out and now that this Netflix series is finished, they don't have anything else to lie about. Personally, I cannot wait until they fade into obscurity forever. So we never have to hear from those two again. Everyone in the royal family was upset at the two of them. Harry had decided to walk away. Now the programs for this event was printed with Harry and Nathan already removed from the official royal walk into the cathedral, and Harry made a big issue because he still wanted to be in the royal lineup. He didn't want to have to go along with the public and take his seat. So just to appease that crybaby, Catherine and William and the others opted out of throwing a walk as well. They were all upset, and you can see it on their faces, and of course it didn't stop Bacon at the end of the service running out to try to walk in front of Catherine. And now the program was approved by the late Queen. She had written Harry out because he had already quit his job as a working royal. So basically the moaning began immediately after he quit, because suddenly he realized that he still wanted all the benefits and walking with other people was not what he wanted. See, Harry was an ordinary person, but that's not what he wanted.